In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Over 14 centuries ago, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, gave his followers a series of simple yet profound instructions on how to live a healthy, balanced, and mindful life. Today, modern science continues to reveal the astonishing wisdom hidden within those teachings. What seemed like matters of simple faith are now proven by medical and scientific research to be principles of human well-being. The Prophet, peace be upon him, advised Muslims to avoid sleeping during specific times of the day, particularly around Fajr, Ishraq, Asr, Maghrib, and Isha. These instructions were followed faithfully by believers, even without knowing the scientific reasoning. Modern research now confirms that during Fajr and Ishraq, the level of oxygen in the atmosphere naturally decreases. If a person sleeps during this time, their body receives less oxygen, which can cause fatigue, mood swings, and long-term health issues. From ASR until Isha, oxygen levels again decline, and sleeping during this period can lead to oxygen deficiency and respiratory diseases such as asthma. The Prophet's wisdom, revealed in the 7th century, aligns perfectly with what atmospheric science and medicine explain today. He, peace be upon him, also discouraged sitting or spending time among people with bad odor or unclean habits. According to modern studies, unpleasant smells and unhygienic environments increase stress hormones like cortisol and can lead to depression within weeks. The Prophet's instruction not only preserved physical hygiene but also protected mental health, long before psychology even existed. Likewise, the Prophet, peace be upon him, warned against engaging in negative or indecent talk before going to sleep. Today, neuroscience confirms that the last thoughts or conversations before sleep directly influence a person's dreams, and those dreams determine emotional tone the next day. People who end their day with worry, gossip, or anger often wake up tired and unhappy. But those who remember Allah, recite prayers, or think positively before sleeping experience mental peace and emotional clarity. Thus, the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, were not only spiritual but deeply scientific, designed to keep both the body and soul in harmony, protecting believers from diseases of the body, the mind, and the heart. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that human well-being lies in balance, in small, mindful actions repeated every day. Among his guidance was a simple instruction: eat with your right hand. At first glance, it may seem like a matter of etiquette, but neuroscience now reveals a profound truth behind it. The brain is divided into two hemispheres. The left controls logic and discipline, while the right governs emotions and impulses. When we eat with the right hand, we activate the logical and controlled side of the brain, encouraging positive thinking and self-restraint. In contrast, using the left hand strengthens impulsive and negative responses. Observations even show that people who habitually eat with their left hand tend to complain more, argue often, and carry a restless energy. The Prophet's words, therefore, were not only about manners, they were about shaping the psychology of discipline. The Prophet, peace be upon him, also forbade taking food out of the mouth and eating it again. Science has now proven that this act is extremely unhygienic. Our mouths contain between 100 million and 1 billion bacteria at any given time. Once food is removed, these bacteria come into contact with oxygen and multiply rapidly, turning into trillions of microbes within seconds. When such food re-enters the body, it can cause serious infections, stomach problems, and toxin buildup. This is why people who practice this habit often suffer from poor digestion and weak immunity. Another subtle but powerful instruction was to shake shoes before wearing them. It might sound simple, but it is a life-saving precaution. Insects, spiders, or even small reptiles sometimes hide inside shoes. Children may drop sharp items like pins or blades without realizing it. By shaking shoes first, one can prevent bites, injuries, and serious accidents. Even seemingly minor teachings, such as not cracking fingers unnecessarily, have modern scientific validation. Continuous finger cracking can weaken joints and cause long-term pain or arthritis. The Prophet's advice was, therefore, a system of health protection disguised as daily manners. Each instruction, when examined carefully, shows a combination of compassion and foresight, lessons given by the Prophet, peace be upon him, for a healthy, disciplined, and spiritually awakened life that science is only beginning to understand today. Cleanliness, focus, and mindfulness are central to the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Every command he gave carried both spiritual depth and scientific logic. One such instruction was not to look toward the sky during prayer. At first, this might seem like a purely spiritual warning, but science now supports its wisdom. When a person looks upward, the brain's attention mechanism becomes distracted. It takes several seconds for the mind to refocus, breaking concentration and mindfulness. Prayer, however, requires full awareness of body, mind, and heart. By keeping one's gaze fixed humbly toward the ground, a person maintains mental presence and spiritual discipline. Cognitive psychology today confirms that minimizing visual distractions enhances performance, focus, and emotional calm, something the Prophet, peace be upon him, emphasized more than 1,400 years ago. He, peace be upon him, also forbade spitting or making noise inside toilets. Modern microbiology has now revealed why. Toilets contain millions of airborne germs that rise whenever the seat or water is disturbed. When a person opens their mouth to spit, these germs can enter through saliva and infect the respiratory or digestive system. The Prophet's guidance to avoid spitting, talking, or even breathing deeply inside toilets was, therefore, an early lesson in infection control, centuries before the discovery of bacteria. Germs mostly enter the body through the mouth, not the nose. Avoiding unnecessary mouth movement in such spaces literally protects health. Another remarkable instruction was to avoid brushing teeth with charcoal. While charcoal can make teeth appear temporarily whiter, it is abrasive and harms gums, weakens roots, and erodes enamel. Modern dentists confirm that long-term use of carbon-based scrubs damages oral health. The Prophet's recommendation to use natural tooth cleaning sticks, miswak, was not just a spiritual act, it was superior oral hygiene long before toothpaste was invented. Finally, the Prophet, peace be upon him, instructed people to change clothes while sitting, not standing. Many accidents occur when people lose balance while dressing, especially among the elderly. Sitting ensures stability and safety. This simple instruction reflects a deep awareness of human behavior and physical safety, showing that Islam's teachings cover even the smallest details of daily life, joining cleanliness, mindfulness, and health into one perfect system. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, always lived a life of simplicity, moderation, and balance, a life that continues to teach humanity the true meaning of peace and health. One of his instructions was not to use teeth to break hard things like nuts, bones, or solid food. Today, dental science proves that such habits can crack tooth enamel, damage roots, and lead to lifelong oral problems. The Prophet's advice was not merely about etiquette, it was about protecting one of the body's most vital tools, the teeth, which play a crucial role in digestion, nutrition, and overall health. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was also an example of endurance and gratitude. He lived through hunger, hardship, and scarcity, yet remained content and thankful. Many days passed when no food was cooked in his household. Once, his beloved daughter Fatima, may Allah be pleased with her, brought him a small piece of bread. She said, "O father, I could not eat it without you." The Prophet smiled and said that this was the first morsel to enter his stomach in 3 days. Such humility and patience taught the world that happiness is not found in abundance but in gratitude and faith. During the digging of the trench, the Battle of Khandaq, one companion, Abu Talha, may Allah be pleased with him, came to the Prophet and showed that he had tied a stone around his stomach to suppress hunger. The Prophet then lifted his own garment, and they saw 2 stones tied to his blessed body, showing that he was enduring even more hunger than his companions. Despite being the leader, he shared in every hardship equally. Even when victory and wealth came after battles such as Khaybar and Hunain, the Prophet, peace be upon him, never changed his way of life. He continued to eat simple food, wear modest clothes, and sleep on a plain mat. His life was a living demonstration that spiritual strength and physical health thrive in simplicity. Science now agrees that moderation, light eating, and mental peace prolong life and prevent disease. His lifestyle, free from excess and built on gratitude, remains a timeless model of physical and emotional well-being for all generations. The teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, are far more than moral instructions. They are a complete guide for human wellness. Every principle he gave connects the body, mind, and soul in a way that modern science is only beginning to understand. Centuries before the invention of microscopes or medical research, he taught hygiene, discipline, and emotional stability as acts of faith. His guidance was not theoretical, it was practical, daily, and deeply rooted in care for human life. Science today confirms what the Prophet, peace be upon him, said long ago. Avoiding sleep at certain times preserves oxygen balance in the body. Maintaining cleanliness prevents depression. Using the right hand encourages brain harmony. Spitting or breathing openly in unclean places spreads infection. And simplicity in food and living prevents both physical and mental illness. His teachings were holistic, linking health, character, and spirituality as one integrated system. In a world overwhelmed by anxiety, pollution, and lifestyle diseases, these prophetic habits offer a path back to balance. The Prophet's life reminds us that faith and science are not enemies, they are reflections of the same truth. The Creator who made the laws of nature also sent a messenger to teach how to live in harmony with them. His words were not only for believers of his time, but for all of humanity. If modern society were to follow these simple principles, sleeping and eating wisely, avoiding waste, maintaining cleanliness, showing gratitude, and living modestly, millions of health issues could be prevented. These are not rituals, they are medicine for the soul and body. The Prophet's message shows that obedience to divine wisdom is not blind faith but enlightened living. Every command, from how to eat and dress to how to speak and sleep, carries hidden blessings. They nurture mental peace, strengthen physical health, and deepen one's connection to the Creator. The more science advances, the clearer it becomes that the path to happiness and health lies in the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. His sunnah is not ancient tradition. It is timeless guidance, a perfect harmony between spiritual truth and scientific reality.